All right, what is going on, everybody? We got some NBA games to go over from last night, January 7th, a Tuesday night, primetime event. We have um, Nuggets versus Boston and the Lakers versus Dallas. Both very interesting games, both very entertaining games. If you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have any opinions, comment them down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. Um, Bit of a shorter video. We're just gonna hit these games. Um, I do have some corrections to make. I was correct in that Boston was basically fully healthy minus Derek White. I did say that I thought they were all healthy because there was nobody on the injury report. They had zero people on the injury report. Um, but the Nuggets did have a late game scratch of Nikola Jokic dealing with an illness. So there was absolutely no Nikola Jokic this game. Um, and for the most part, the Mavs and the Lakers went according to plan. Um, Jumping in some of the numbers here, I had the Lakers winning this game because I thought no Luka, no Kyrie, they have to be able to pull this game out, right? They have to be able to pull this game out because right now they are 20-16 on the season and they are 8-11 away. Um, and it wasn't a good look last night. Um, I want to talk about the Lakers so bad, like in depth, like actually go in depth, like I did with the Pelicans and and really beginning of the season, the Nuggets and the Bucks. Um, but I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off till All Star break. I'm gonna see where they end up, how what they can do the rest of the trade deadline, and yeah, see what happens. Diving into the numbers real quick. Um, Anthony Davis led the team with 21 points, 2 blocks, 3 assists, and 12 rebounds. Did not hit a three, 7 for 18 overall. Um, Next up was LeBron James with 18, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 assists shy of a triple double, 1 for 4 from three, 6 of 12 overall. Austin Reeves with 15, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, took 11 threes, only made 4 of them. Max Christie, 12 points, 1 for 4 from three. Um, and you had Rui Hachimura. This is all in the starting lineup. 6 points. Dorian Finney-Smith came off the bench with 11, hit 3 threes. And Dalton Connect came off the bench, 13 points, um, 2 of 5 from three. I um I hinted at this in my last video talking about the preview for these games. Um, I thought it was so important for the Lakers. It's so important for the Lakers to win these games, these technically layup games, where the two All Stars are out for the team, for the opposing team. You have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron James is 40 now, but still he almost put up a triple double, a light, almost 20-point triple double. Um, yeah. That being said, I I I I'm I'm always a bit critical of Anthony Davis because in these games, not to say that LeBron James shouldn't show up or nobody else should show up, but for Anthony Davis to be at this point in his career and had the buzz of MVP conversations and this and that way in the beginning of the season, for him, I don't want to say he doesn't care, but just like to not say, "Hey, I got us tonight." If we're in this sticky spot, if we're in this situation where we're about to lose to a team with no All Stars, essentially, I got us. I always ask for more of Anthony Davis, and he just never seems to give it that. Like, granted, I didn't even read the final box score here. Um, the Mavericks won 118. They won the game 118. The Lakers 97. Um, I just need more from Anthony Davis. I need 31. Like these are the type of games where I need 30 plus. Like you probably came into the night think, oh, it's gonna be a cakewalk. We ain't gotta take these guys seriously. Wrong. Wrong. Um, when you're in these situations, Anthony Davis needs to say, "Hey, we're not losing this game tonight. We need to keep the good momentum going. We need to improve to 21 and 15 or whatever it is. We need to improve. Because you look at Dallas. Dallas is 21 and 16. They're right next to you in the standings. They're right next to you. So it's just kind of crazy. Um, I'm not gonna harp on LeBron James because I, I think LeBron falls into this trap a lot where he doesn't take teams without an All Star seriously enough, and I think I could go into JJ, Coach Reddick, but I won't. Um, Even though he said some stupid things post game, I'm not gonna get into it. Go, Going down to the Mavericks, who just blew the doors off of the Lakers. Shout out PJ Washington with 22 points, 3 of 3 from three, 9 of 14 overall. And shout out Quentin Grimes off the bench, 23, leading scorer for them. Let me repeat that, leading scorer for them. Um, 6 of 11 from three, 8 of 17 overall. Not the best, but very, very good considering you weren't supposed to win this game. Let's see who else pitched in here. Um, Spencer Dinwiddie pitched in with 19. Klay Thompson pitched in with 13. Split his 3 points, 3 of 6. Um, 5 of 10 overall from field goal. Um, and Jaden Hardy came off the bench with Quentin Grimes to supplement the team with 15 points, six attempts from three, 3 of them made, 6 of 11 overall from field goal. Um, yeah, and PJ Washington, he played 39 minutes and he gave it his all. He gave it his all. Um, 8 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie pitched in with 8 assists. Um, just an overall masterclass of no All Stars, no problem. And it's kind of interesting that they both matched up. That the Dallas matched up with the Lakers this night when there's no Kyrie, there's no Luca, because like I said, the Lakers just don't take teams seriously, and this is a known thing through not just, I think more so through the LeBron era, but overall, the Lakers just we're the Lakers, we'll just beat them. They got no All Star. They got to come more prepared, man. And I assume somebody who's just so like detail oriented as JJ, as a coach JJ Redick, that he would come in and say, "Hey, no, we need to win this game. Put on your boots. We're going to war. We're going to blow the doors off of them and get to rest in the fourth quarter." That is not the case. The Lakers shot 31% from three to Dallas's 47. Their field goal was 45 and Dallas was 52. Both were low to mid 70s in the free throw category. Um, just 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 sloppy basketball from the Lakers. And granted, like the Dallas was hitting threes. They were hitting threes. They only took 38 of them and made 18, but that made those few those 7 made threes to the Lakers 11 for 35 made all the difference. Made all the difference. Um, yeah, the 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 Mavericks out rebounded them. Um, Dallas didn't have any blocks this game. Damn, a lot of contesting. Let's see here. Lakers had more fast break points. They had less points in the paint. Lakers had less fouls too. Um, and the Dallas Mavericks led by 21 points at one point in the game. That was the what do you call it, the biggest lead for them. Anyways, let's head to the late night game, a very entertaining game. Um, the Boston Celtics in Ball Arena in Denver versus the Nuggets. No Nikola Jokic. Um, oh God, I didn't even realize that. I'm looking at the stats now. Um, when I tuned into this game, and I usually turn off some of the broadcasts. I don't like a lot of the broadcast, but I usually have it on in the beginning to hear the stuff that's going on. Um, when I heard that that Nikola Jokic was out, I was like, oh, the uh the the Celtics got this. They got this. This is an easy win for them. This is a super easy win for them. Whatever, whatever. I was very wrong. The Denver Nuggets came out to play. They have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven people in double digit points. We'll get to that in a second. I do want to touch on um, what this team looked like without Nikola Jokic very quickly, and then we'll head into the numbers. Um, they they need another defensive body. When Aaron Gordon is out, this team is just full of traffic cones. Just absolutely full of traffic cones. Like Watson, Tyson, like some of these guys can defend. They're more like team defenders, so to speak. You need a real one-on-one defender because Jason Tatum was cooking. He was cooking at times. He was absolutely frying people. He had 29 on the night. Um, um, and I forget the stat, but like the Nuggets attempt the least amount of threes in the league. They're like bottom of the league. Well, the Celtics are number one, and that was really the game, was making the threes. Um, the Nuggets had nobody to go to 3-point shooter. Jamal Murray has lost his confidence in his three. He was 1 for 5 tonight or last night, um, and he just doesn't have the same speed to get it up. There were a couple of times where I thought he was going to shoot it and he was going to drill it like old Jamal Murray, and he would just pump fake it and then dish it out or get to the mid range. And he'd hit the mid range shot, but in a game where you're facing the team that takes the most threes in the league, you need to be somewhat competitive at that line, at the 3-point line. And they just weren't. Not no disrespect to him. As a team, they weren't. This roster isn't really constructed to shoot threes, which is unfortunate. Um, the starting lineup for the Nuggets was um, Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, Christian Braun, Michael Porter, and Dario Saric. Um, everybody was in double digits, um, except Dario Saric, who did have 4 assists and he did move the ball. And the thought process, I guess, behind Michael Malone, Coach Michael Malone starting Dario Saric was they could play a similar type of basketball because Dario Saric is a just basically Nikola Jokic light. He's smaller. Um, he can still pass the rock, not as efficiently as Jokic, but you catch my drift. Um, he had 0 points again. Um, Michael Porter had 10 rebounds, 15 points, 2 for 7 from three, 5 for 13 overall from field goal. Jamal Murray had 19. This was a very good game for Jamal Murray. He was 1 of 5 from three, 8 of 17. Not by the numbers, but visually, I liked the way he was playing basketball last night. I liked, granted, like I'm talking backwards almost because I didn't like the that he didn't take 3-point attempts. He took 5 of them. I didn't like that he didn't have the confidence to take them against a team like the Celtics. That's my problem with it. But I did like the rest of the stuff he was doing. Um, and Christian Braun with 21, 5 for 10 from field goal, 2 for 5 from three. Um, and the big story of the night. I'm a I am a recovering Russell Westbrook hater. I've been in recovery for about 4 years, 5 years. I really I had a strong disdain for Russell Westbrook. And then you sort of realize that the teams he was on didn't really fit his play style and didn't really wanted him to play a role. I think some of it was on him, but a lot of it was on the coach of those teams and the situations he was put in. Um, Russell Westbrook had himself a game last night. He had himself a game, and it was a pleasure to watch. It really was. 26 points. Um, I lost it. 6 assists, 9 rebounds, almost a triple double. Um, 2 for 5 from free throw, 4 for 9 from three, 9 for 18 overall from field goal. Um, there were some great moments. These are the games you get Russell Westbrook for. When you sign Russell Westbrook this last offseason, you say, well, if we're ever in a pinch, we have a guy who's been an MVP, who's been an All Star, who's been in big situations, who's been in big games, who's played against the best, and hopefully can bring us a win. And we just need the other guys to show up. And this team did show up. Like I said, there were 7 guys in double-digit points. Almost there was 2 guys with 19. Russell Westbrook had 26. Porter had 15. Yeah, you had a bunch of guys in the teens, high teens, low tens. Um, but Russell Westbrook had himself a night. There were some moments where I shook my head and I said, "There's the Russell Westbrook I know." Just driving into the lane and not having a vision for what is going to happen if I can't get to the bucket, just turning it over. Bad passes. He did have 8 turnovers to go with those 6 assists. Um, there were some moments where you just shook your head, and if you're a Denver Nuggets fan, I assume you're like, "Oh, that's a little concerning." But as somebody who watches the NBA and somebody who's watched a lot of Russell Westbrook when he was in the Western Conference before he went to the Wizards and then came back to the Western Conference, I'm talking pre-Wizards era. I'm talking about Thunder. I'm talking about Rockets. Russell Westbrook, where you're used to seeing this stuff. You're like, oh, there it is. Yep, there's that turnover. There's that ill-conceived shot. Just crazy stuff. But he was the engine last night, and I do have to give him some credit for that. Um, you had Peyton Watson come off the bench with 14, 2 for 3 from 3-point range. You had Julian Strother, 19 points, 3 of 6 from three, 8 of 15. Some really good momentum for those guys. Some really good momentum. Um, I think there are a lot of positive things to take away from this Nuggets loss for this Nuggets team. Like I said, they needed another defender. I don't know how you go about doing that. I don't know how you do that. I don't know if the only thing that really pops into my mind right off Jump Street is trying to get Dylan Brooks from the Rockets. I don't know how you would go about doing that. I don't know anyway, but that's the sort of defender this team needs is somebody they do have grit, but they need more grit, and they need somebody to like just get in people's faces and guard like Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. Um, and speaking of those guys, heading to the Celtics numbers, um, 29 points for Jason Tatum, 11 for 23, 1 of 9 from three. Terrible shooting night from the arc for him. 9 points for Horford, 4 rebounds. Kristaps Porzingis came out big. Um, pause. 25 points, 11 rebounds. Drew Holiday with 19, Jalen Brown with 14. Um, all of those guys took low to mid teens field goal attempts. Kristaps made 9, Jalen Brown made 6, Drew Holiday made 6. None of them shot the three particularly well. Drew had the highest attempts with 7. Kristaps made 1. Jalen Brown did not make any. Um, and this was a game where the starters really shined. Um, this is the Celtics team. This is the team that won the championship. And they played like the champions. At times, they let the Nuggets back into the game. Um, and I forgot to say this when I was talking about the Nuggets. The Nuggets roared back before the end of the first half, and made a statement. And the Celtics had to really put their foot on the gas, which I commend. Um, but yeah, Kristaps was big for them. Um, Jason Tatum down the stretch was big for them. Had a crazy. He was in his bag. I forget what the time mark was. It was in the fourth quarter though, where he was on. the close side, closest to the camera, for those who don't know, closest to the camera, got the ball. I think it was Watson on him. He went between the legs, brought it back over to the 3 point line, shook Peyton, and then falled away into a fadeaway. And it was the night for me. That was a great shot. He tried to do it again later down the stretch of the game, but he didn't hit it. But that was a crazy shot, and I was like, that's the Jason Tatum I like. That's the one I like. I don't like this Jason Tatum that's just like shooting these ugly 3 pointers and like all this nonsense. I don't like that Jason Tatum. I like Jason Tatum when he's in his bag. Um, I like Drake that sings the songs, not rap, sort of deal. um. Anyways, this was just a game for the starters. I mean, Luke Cornett came off the bench, 2 points. Kada came off the bench. This is for the Celtics, 8 points. Sam Hauser, 9 points. Hit a couple really big threes for them. Um, yeah, this was a really good game for the Celtics. A bit of a worrying game, but unlike the Lakers, they took care of business. They said, "Oh, this team's injured." They got that information the same time we did, relatively the same time, and they said, "Okay, no Nikola Jokic to see what this team's got," and they tied it up at halftime, and then the Celtics kind of just took off, which is good. Um, just going through some quick team numbers here. Um, Celtics had the better field goal by 4%. Wow, the Celtics took 35 threes, and the Nuggets took 36, and the Nuggets made more threes. I just want to keep my all those threes came in like the first half because like I felt like they could hit a three in the second half. Um. Anyways, obviously the Nuggets shot 38%. The um the Celtics had a better free throw percentage. Celtics had a few more rebounds, offensively and defensively. Assists, Celtics had more assists, more steals, more blocks, less turnovers. They won the game in the numbers, and they won it on the court. That's essentially it. You don't want to hear me read numbers. Um, but yeah, that's it. That was last night's games. I already previewed tonight's games yesterday. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, I'll put a card in the top right corner. And yeah, that's it. You hear my thoughts for tonight's games tomorrow on Thursday, and then you guys will get a weekend video. Sound good? Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.